So he explained the whole process of the matter. Huo Yao sighed, no need to do such fancy things. If you want to repay me in the future, just transfer money directly. Wait a moment, I'll send you my bank card when I get back. We're all familiar with each other. No need to be polite, ha ha ha. I can see you're really not being polite. Known there was nothing else, Hu Yao went home to eat first. The next day, Hu Yao and Min Yu went to Grandpa Pei's house. Grandpa Pei looked distressed. Little Hu, you're really not polite. The list you made is all rare medicinal materials and you need so much at once. If the old man didn't have some savings, it wouldn't be enough for you to squander. Hu Yao smiled, you promised a discounted price. Old man, you can't go back on your word. Old Pei acted proud. All right, the medicine is all prepared. Let's go to the pharmacy. Old Pei watched Hu Yao go to the pharmacy, then called over his second son. With a serious face, he said, listen. You need to learn carefully from little Hu later. How much you can learn depends on your ability. Damn, this man is going to catch someone in the act. Old Pei said very seriously to Pei Feng. Little Hu's medicine-making skills are far better than your big brother's. It's a rare opportunity. You better pay attention and watch carefully. Her brother said helplessly, I'll hire a tutor for you. My friend works at the Cultural Education Association. These words once again deeply hurt Hu Yao. Why would he assume her grades were so bad that she needed someone else's tutoring? She angrily replied, thanks, but I don't need it. Pei Feng looked at Hu Yao thinking, letting me learn from this little girl must be a joke. I think he's really becoming senile. Big brother is an ultimate medicine maker. How could someone be better than him? Impossible. Pei Feng saw Huo Yao's precise medicine preparation techniques and extremely fast medicine-making speed. Seeing Huo Yao produce 10 to 20 pills at once, he was stunned. Ordinary medicine makers can only make 2 or 3 pills at a time. And even advanced ones can only make 5 or 6. This little girl making so many at once, wouldn't the effect be greatly reduced? Huo Yao put away her medicine and looked at Pei Feng. Do you know how to make incense? Pei Feng was stunned for a moment, then shook his head. No, Huo Yao, considering the 70% discount on medicine, said, all right, I'll teach you. Unexpectedly, Pei Feng directly refused. No need, I'm not interested in incense making. Seeing that he really wasn't interested, Huo Yao didn't insist. Outside, old Pei saw Huo Yao coming out and quickly stood up. Little Hugh, you finished so quickly today. Let me see what medicine you made. Hugh Yao passed a bottle over. Grandpa Pei, I don't have much energy today. I'll write down the formulas for you later. If you follow them, the results should be more or less the same. Old Pei was stunned at first, then looked at Pei Feng, seeing him standing next to Min Yu. Looking like he wanted to make connections, he had specially created conditions for him to learn some skills so that the Pei family could go further in the future. Old Pei shook his head. Well, it seems our Pei family doesn't have that fortune. A missed opportunity is a missed opportunity. You're talking nonsense before bedtime? In the car, Li Yu asked with some unclear meaning. I just heard you mention incense making. You know how to make incense. Her brother tried hard to explain. Do you know how much help you could get from the Cultural Education Association's guidance? Then he thought his sister grew up in a small county and probably knew nothing about the association. He turned to leave, saying, forget it, do as you like, you won't listen to anything I say. Let's pretend I said nothing. Huo Yao said with some guilt, incense, how would I know that? I just know how to prepare some medicine, because she had clearly said before that she didn't know incense making, and even sent him a Taobao shop link. Huo Yao didn't want to continue this topic. Oh, I'm suddenly so sleepy, I'll take a nap, wake me up when we get home. Min Yu chuckled softly, little liar with a mouth full of lies. Soon they arrived outside the villa. Zhou Yun had just come out. Min Yu raised his hand in a gesture of promotion without waking up the sleeping Haiyao. The sister-doting second brother had been calling his sister repeatedly with no answer. He was thinking about setting a curfew for his sister. It was already 10 o'clock and she still hadn't come home. Turning around, he saw a car parked at the door that hadn't left. While wondering whose it was, a girl got out of the car. The second brother's eyes widened. Oh my God, sister, who owed Tingray, holding his phone, rushed towards Who Oh's father, who asked in confusion. Second son, where are you going? Who owed Tingray, fuming, didn't even turn his head as he replied to catch someone in the act. Huo Yao had just entered when she bumped into her angry second brother. She asked in confusion, second brother, you're going out so late? Huo Tinger looked behind her. Where's the car? Where's that bastard? Damn, he got slapped in the face. Huo Yao looked puzzled. What car? What a scumbag. Hugh Tinger was still fuming, absolutely livid. I just saw you coming back in a car. There was another man in it. That car stopped at the door for 10 minutes. What were you doing in there? Hugh Yao suddenly asked seriously. Second brother, have you been staying up late again recently? Yes, how did you know? Look, you're so tired you're hallucinating. I'll give you some acupuncture later. Hugh Tingray was stunned. What the hell, wasn't I here to catch a cheater? How did I suddenly end up getting needled? January came and the second session of rural life began on the weekend. This time they were digging lotus roots. Hyuk-sheng, following his sister, was easily winning. The two who finished their tasks early sat on small stools watching Hyuk-sheng. He never imagined digging lotus roots would be so tiring. After her brother left, Hugh Yao sent a message to the mysterious person. Is the Cultural Education Association very powerful? Lin Hai almost spat blood hearing this. You have your all-capable sister helping you, you're just coasting to victory. What right do you have to say such things? That's too much, you won't have any friends like this. Haha, these two siblings were really funny. Even through the screen you could feel Uncle Yin's resentment. Soon the task ended. This time the punishment for last place was cooking. The losing team was Shen Sis group. This left the two who had never cooked before bewildered. The enthusiastic Yin Hai smiled and offered to help, saying that although he couldn't make a feast, at least they wouldn't get food poisoning. Haha, Hu Ouyao didn't go to the kitchen to help. He sat on a stool and started solving problems. The host walked over puzzled and asked, Sister, are you doing homework? The cameraman's lens zoomed in accordingly. The host looked for a while, completely confused. Are high school problems this complicated now? I don't understand any of it. At this point, the live stream chat started to boil over again. Some thought it was a publicity stunt, while others who saw the problems doubted if they had attended a real high school. Huo Yao finished the problem and took out her phone to take a picture. She sent it to that physics professor at Sangyue University, otherwise he would come looking for her every few days. Shen Si, who had finished cooking, came out and saw the host surrounding Huo Yao. What's everyone looking at? The host said with amazement. The young really are surpassing the old. Sister can even solve college freshman physics problems. Impressive, Shanxi feigned surprise. Is that so? What a coincidence. My cousin is actually a freshman physics major. Meow meow, I remember your physics grades were quite good. Why don't you come help sister look at the problem? Hu Yao stopped her motion of throwing the paper. Are you sure you want to look at the problem I solved? Shanxi thought she was trying to cover something up. Let's all learn from each other. Shall we? Hu Ouyao gave them a chance they didn't cherish. All right then, sit down in 5 seconds. Without even looking at the problem, she said, although my physics isn't great, looking at a high school problem shouldn't be. She hadn't finished saying a problem when she stopped. Viewers in the live stream who saw this situation started flooding the chat with comments. In a research institute in Beijing, someone saw the message and thought to himself. Shanxi noticed his cousin's strange expression and couldn't help but ask what's wrong. Meow meow, Wu Meow came back to her senses. This isn't a high school problem. This is a freshman physics research question. I'm ashamed to say I can't solve this level of difficulty either. I don't know how Sister came up with this solution method. These words were quite meaningful. Shen Si pretended to be surprised and said, Sister, you're doing college problems. Aren't you a high school student? Wu Meow, with a hint of sarcasm, said, maybe Sister is a university genius. After all, students who can enter first high are all extraordinary. Hearing the conversation between these two, Huo Zhang's face almost instantly darkened. Just as he was about to stand up, he was held back. Huo Yao started to counterattack. May I ask why high school students can't do college freshman problems? Senior, haven't you been to high school? As you said, simple people are indeed rare these days. After all, not everyone thinks before they speak. Also, senior, you can't even understand the lab class equation if you don't understand. It's okay, I can teach you, no way. One wave hadn't settled when another arose. This time it was actually about plagiarism. Hu Ouyao spoke very slowly, like a teacher afraid students wouldn't understand after her explanation. Forget 5 seconds. Even the viewers in the live stream felt like they instantly understood when it was time to eat. Just as Hayao walked out, she was called over by the director to eat together. Seeing Hayao's full appearance, the director said, it would be such a waste if you didn't join the entertainment industry with that face. Have you considered showing your face in the latter part of the show? Hayao shook her head without almost any thought. No need, showing my face would be troublesome. You might as well reduce my screen time to a minimum. After all, I'm not in the industry. Giving me too much screen time is meaningless. Director Su shook his head. What a pity, such a topic-worthy young girl, but I won't force you. All right, I understand. Not long after, She stood up to thank the director. Thank you for your hospitality today. The takeout tastes really good. It looks like ordinary boxed meals, but tastes just like dishes from a star-rated hotel. Why is the big shot suddenly interested in the Cultural Education Association? He immediately replied, the Cultural Education Association is a talent incubator specializing in recruiting talent for various universities. Then he asked concernedly, do you have a child in school? She coughed as long as you're full. After Hu Yao left, the assistant didn't understand, Brother Ku. Why are you so polite to this young girl? Director Ku glanced at the assistant. Why do you think the crew's meals are so good this time? The assistant suddenly realized, I see. Those who bring resources are the bosses. In the evening, Hu Sheng saw Tan Yu looking distracted and asked with concern, did something happen? Tan Yu forced a smile, it's nothing. We got up too early today, I'm just a bit tired. You should all rest early when you get back. Don't play with your phones at night. Wei Yao felt something was off hearing this. She took out her phone and looked. It turned out her brother was trending again. This time it was actually about plagiarism. Understanding Tan Yu's thoughts, she said, fourth brother, don't worry too much. If anything happens, Brother Tan will tell you, by the way, can I borrow your phone for a bit? Back home, after Huo Shang went in, Huo Yao asked Brother Tan, who is this Shang Nan? Tang Yu was startled for a moment. Sister, you saw the Weibo post? Shang Nan and your brother are teammates. They used to be very close, but as your brother's popularity grew quickly, gradually there was a gap between them. So now the public opinion online has started to favor Sean Nan. The trending topic can't be suppressed unless solid evidence is found. The situation is very unfavorable for Wu Shan. Wu Yao returned home, sat in front of the computer, turned it on, and typed rapidly on the keyboard, creating a small program. He sent it to Sean Nan's phone and computer. After sending it successfully, Wu Yao felt that this matter was strange in every aspect. So he can only start with the person involved. Who could have thought that the mastermind behind this was actually this woman? Where did she get the audio from? The one who opened the door wasn't Sean Nan, but his assistant, seeing the other person. Lucky was somewhat surprised. Why are you here? Nan isn't here right now, but Nan told me that if you came looking for him about the Weibo incident, you just need to sincerely apologize. After all, we're all friends, or wanted to laugh coldly. He stole my song, turned the tables on me on Weibo, and still wants me to apologize. Where does this confidence come from? He said as he pushed the door open and walked in. You're indeed here. Where did you get your audio from? Sean Nan insisted that he created the audio himself. Wu Shan said deeply, there's no one else here, you don't need to act with me. Whether you can create such a song, we both know the truth. Sean Nan snorted, so only you're allowed to create and others can't. I hate Hu Zhang's attitude the most. Thinking no one can compare to him, I clearly have talent too. Why should I always be one step behind him? Hu Shang sarcastically curled his lip. I don't care if you can create or not, I'm just asking you, how did you get this song? Seeing the eldest brother being so close with Hu Yao, Liu Zia directly snuggled into her brother's arms to seek attention. The eldest brother didn't notice this green tea behavior and introduced, this is my biological sister. My senior is a director at the association. I can help you contact him. This polite manner surely meant he was treating the other person as a respected big shot. At this time, Huo Yao was a bit confused. Did he misunderstand and think she was a child's mother? Shang Nan's attitude was very firm. This is my original creation. You stole my inspiration and ideas. Hu Shang quietly looked at him and didn't say anything more. He turned and left. Shan Nan watched Hu Zhang's back. He actually left without saying anything. This wasn't like his style. Thinking about it and worried something might go wrong, he took out his phone and made a call. Hu's Sean came to me. I'm also very curious. Where did your song actually come from? The person on the other end calmly said where it came from. You don't need to know. The finished product is in your hands. Even if he wants to defend himself, he can't find any evidence. Trust me, there won't be any problems. Sean Nan said coldly, I hope what you're saying is true. Otherwise, you won't escape responsibility either. I don't need you to remind me of that. Don't call unnecessarily in the future. Lu Sha hung up the phone. You looked down on me, didn't you? You refused to acknowledge me as your sister, didn't you? Now let's see how you turn things around when you're harmed by your own created song. Just as she was about to turn around, Lu's ending appeared. Who were you just calling? Are you plotting something evil again? You really are my dear sister. Great, Wei Yao listened to the audio in the car, which was the conversation with Sean Nan just recorded. If it weren't for fourth brother showing up this time, she wouldn't have heard such an interesting conversation. What's the situation? Can't afford to eat now? Even need a discount to have a meal? Wu Shan looked at the elegant decor, curious about how his sister found such a place, and it's an herbal cuisine restaurant. Wu Yao looked at Yilao's text message and briefly said, "A friend brought me here. This place basically only serves regular customers. The food tastes quite good. Eat something nice. Then have a good sleep tonight. Maybe you'll wake up to a surprise tomorrow." Wu Shan pouted, "I'm your brother." Then another message came. "There's a large auction in Beijing's black market in a few days. Weren't you always looking for top grade 7-leaf lotus? You could try there. I'll give you my invitation." Not a 3-year-old child. "Why are you comforting me like a kid?" The waiter came with the menu for Hayao to order. After seeing the prices, Hayao's expression became strange. She asked, "With this discount card, how much discount can we get?" She took out the card Yi Lao had given her last time, feeling very grateful for it in her heart. Otherwise, her wallet wouldn't survive today. The waiter quickly explained, "This isn't a discount card. With this card, you don't need to pay at any of our herbal cuisine restaurants." Hearing the word free, Hu Yao's eyes widened. Beside her, when Hu Xian heard his sister ask about the discount, he thought, "Haven't mom and dad given her any money?" He took out a card and handed it to his sister. "Use this card as you like. If you need money, just tell fourth brother, don't be so frugal." Hu Yao sighed, "I really don't need it." Seeing his sister not accepting it, Hu Xing felt emotional. In this situation, if it were Zhuang Luxing, she would have happily accepted it long ago. Never mind, his sister is too well behaved. He'll buy her things in the future. Hu Yao looked at her fourth brother's expression, feeling that fourth princess was imagining something strange again. Outside, the manager watching the situation inside really couldn't understand why Yi Lao would give his business card to Hu Yao. Look at her inexperienced appearance just as he turned to leave. He saw the young master of the Yi family looking annoyed, seeing him carrying soup. He was puzzled. Yi Li Anfin said it was to bring the dish in and ask for the customer's opinions for future improvement. Hearing this, the manager frowned. This dish was said to the Huo Yao private room. Considering his evaluation of Yi Lao last time, he feared he might say something tactless and hurtful. He tried to stop him. "Yi Li Anfin, let's cook first." Yi Li Anfin walked past him. "It's fine, it'll be quick." At this moment, the young man was hoping to leave a good impression on the big shot. But when he saw Hu Yao's reply, "No need, I don't have time because of school." Just as he entered the private room and saw Hu Yao, Yi Lianfin was surprised. "Classmate Hu, what a coincidence." Hu Yao was also quite surprised to see Yi Lianfin, then she seemed to remember something. You must be Yi Yao's grandson." Right, Yi Lianfin was taken aback. "You know my grandfather?" She nodded. "This guy is not only a top student, but he also cooks so well. He really can handle both elegant and mundane affairs." Hu Yao nodded. "I've met him a couple of times." The ignored Huoshan had been staring at them, his handsome face wearing a cold expression. "Yao Yao, is this your classmate?" "Yes, same grade but different class," Hu Yao replied briefly. Huoshan listened and narrowed his eyes, staring with hostility. He frowned, thinking they're not even classmates. "Yet this guy acts so familiar with my sister. He must have bad intentions." Yi Lianfin sensed the unfriendly gaze and composed himself, saying, "I made this soup. Try it and let me know if there's anything that needs improvement." Hu Yao had ordered a simple, nourishing soup, which was basically fine. After Yi Lianfin left, Hu Shang muttered, "This guy is quite arrogant. So what if he can make a couple of medicinal dishes?" Huo Yao glanced at him and said, "He's the top student in our grade. Don't you think that's worth being proud of? Why were you deliberately picking on him earlier? You seemed a bit insecure." "No, I wasn't." Yi Lianfan returned to the kitchen and remained silent. He felt his perception shatter. He spat out a mouthful of water. "What, a student? Am I hallucinating?" The manager couldn't help but ask, "Did that young lady say something unpleasant? Please don't take it to heart. Last time, she even criticized your grandfather's newly developed medicinal cuisine is not perfect enough. It's absurd." Yiliamfan asked in shock, "You're saying she even critiqued grandfather's dishes?" The manager nodded. "Yes, and Oldie was very pleased. He even gave her his business card. I really can't understand it." Yili and Fan felt a bit discouraged. At night at Chengyu Culture, Shangnan saw his manager suddenly come in and was surprised. "Brother Yuan, why are you here so late?" Jinsu Yuan's face looked very grim. "Check Weibo right now." "I thought he was just a bit arrogant, but I didn't expect him to be so stupid. He's been caught red-handed." Shannan felt a sense of foreboding. Did something happen? The hot search had a big headline, "Here's the truth you've been waiting for." Inside was the complete recorded phone conversation between Shan Nan and Lu Sha. The phone fell to the ground with a clatter. Jin Sayuan was furious. How could you be so stupid? You're ruining your own future with your own hands. Sean Nan's face turned pale. He grabbed Jin Sayuan's arm. Brother Yuan, help me. I know I was wrong. Are you happy now? You've destroyed yourself, still feeling smug. Seeing Sean Nan's desperate look, Jin Sayuan sighed. I told you before, the position of Fifenbin's leader would eventually be yours, but you were too impatient. Make a public apology on Weibo. Remember to emphasize that you were also misled, that you're a victim too. Push all the blame onto Lu Zia. Zion realized Jin Suyuan hadn't given up on him. He immediately pulled himself together. I know what to do. Since Lu Zia dared to harm me, I won't let him off easy either. Meanwhile, Lu Zia had just received a call from Tianchai, who angrily said, Zia Zia, are you crazy? Why did you steal your brother's new song and give it to Zion Nan? Isn't the big shot an elderly person? Well done on this one. Go check Weibo yourself. Your phone conversation with Sean Nan has been leaked. The netizens on Weibo are all pushing the responsibility onto you. After listening to the recording and reading the comments, Lu Sha was stunned. He couldn't understand how it had been recorded. Everything had been fine just the night before. Huo Shan himself was keeping quiet like a turtle hiding in its shell. It must be Sean Nan. It couldn't be anyone else. Lu Sha quickly tried to call Sean Nan, but the number was always out of service. He had been blocked by Sean Nan. He Xiaomin saw the Weibo posts and walked out of the living room. She went straight up to Lu Sha and slapped him. Look at what you've done. The internet is full of your scandals. I put so much effort into raising you, and you do such a disgraceful thing. How can you face me? Lu Sha held his slapped face. I'm a victim too. Lu Zemin shook his head in disbelief. I knew something was wrong when you called earlier saying everything was fine, so you really had bad intentions. He Xiaomin was furious. I don't want to hear your excuses. Quickly get your management company to suppress this matter. Don't let it affect the Lu family's reputation. Lu Sha pressed his lips together, clenching his fists. His eyes grew colder. Face, always about face. Pun Yu called Hu Xing very excited. It's so satisfying. I don't know which great person helped us out, but didn't you and your adopted sister already have a falling out? How did she get your song? Hu Xiang was silent for a moment. My song wasn't stolen by her. Although I don't like her, I don't want to falsely accuse an innocent person. Pun Yu thought it was to save face for Lu Xiang. No way, go check the hot search on Weibo. In the recording, Lu Xiang admitted it herself. Hu Xiang's brow furrowed deeper. I'll take a look. After listening, it really was Lu Xiang's voice. Hu Yao slept soundly at the national competition venue. Didn't they all say my grades were poor and I got in through connections? She was the one who gave his song to Xiang Nan, but the question remained. How did she get an identical finished version before he had even completed it? The more he thought about it, the more terrifying it seemed. Damn, wasn't this family so poor they could only afford a beat-up car? Where did they get a multi-million yuan luxury car from? At school, Meng Yin was commenting on the hot search topic. I used to think that Lu Zia was just being dramatic, but I didn't expect her to be so vicious. After all, they lived together as siblings for so many years, yet she framed him without hesitation. Tusk. But how did your brother's song end up in Lushaw's hands? Which genius managed to get even this recording? That's impressive. Lushaw smiled enigmatically. Maybe this genius is right in front of you. Meng Yin laughed as if hearing a great joke. Come on, sis. Before she could finish, the homeroom teacher called Hoyo out again. Outside the classroom, the teacher said, Hoyo, I have a rather personal question. Do you have two mothers? Hoyo's face showed confusion. The teacher coughed and explained, it's like this, a lady came claiming to be your mother. She said her surname is He, who Oh Yao immediately understood. With a calm expression, he said, that's my former foster mother. The homeroom teacher was there when she arrived at the office. Do you want to see her? He Shalman is here about Lu Sha's matter. Even if I refuse to meet her now, she'll find another reason to come. Might as well resolve it all at once. Arriving at the office, he got straight to the point. What do you want? Hearing his tone devoid of respect, he Shalman frowned. What, you don't even call me mom anymore? Hu Oh Yao smirked. Mrs. He, have you forgotten how we fell out at the hospital last time? He Shalman feigned disdain. I won't waste words with you. That online recording about Shia was maliciously used against you. Go tell your brother this ends here. Let's not make things too embarrassing. For your brother's future, think carefully. Secretly signing me up. Hu Yao looked disgusted. 70 isn't much. The old man's so-called jealousy bonus can buy million-dollar luxury cars. He Shalman laughed angrily. 70, you think the company's a charity? Don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. Ordinary employees would be grateful for 7 a month. You want 70? Have you gone mad thinking about money? Huo Yao feigned fear. Oh, I'm so scared. The homeroom teacher suddenly pulled Huo Yao behind her. If there's nothing else, please don't delay the child's class time. The teacher thought, such a good child being threatened by this foster mother must be terrified. He Xiaoman looked at them without speaking, then left furiously. The teacher looked at him lovingly. Don't be afraid, this is school. Teachers will protect you. Huo Yao smiled sweetly. Thank you. Teacher Chen, the teacher looked envious. Oh, so sweet and obedient. Why isn't she my daughter? Outside the school gate, he Xiaoman saw the confused look on the roadside. HMPH, indeed a poor family, can't even afford a dedicated driver. Just as she got in the car, she saw, damn, isn't this family so poor they can only afford a broken car? Where did this Rolls-Royce come from? She is so shy, actually wanting to take off his clothes in front of so many people in the manager's office. Sister Tian looked at the haggard Lucia, feeling both angry and annoyed. Just sitting here won't help. I've done all I can. This can't be suppressed. I have no other way. I don't know what you were thinking. You only have so many fans, yet you went after a top star. Lucia pressed her lips together without speaking. Her fingers tightly clenched. If Huo Xiong hadn't been so ruthless, how could she have acted so impulsively? That Hoyao isn't even in the industry. Don't you just want to see me embarrassed? Fine. He'd rather take her on a variety show than me. If that's not a slap in the face, what is? Sister Tian sighed. Now you can only apologize sincerely. Although you're not blood siblings, you've lived together for over 10 years, go beg him. As long as he doesn't pursue this, you still have a chance to turn things around. Lu Sha smiled bitterly. You don't understand. That brother is cold-hearted. Getting him to help clear things up is too difficult. Sister Tian slightly tugged at the corner of her mouth. No matter how hard you had to try, unless you want to quit the industry, or you could beg your foster parents for their sake, he might not make things difficult for you. Lu Sha arrived at the old Huo family house. She stood at the door for a long time before ringing the doorbell. Several minutes passed, but no one opened the door. They should be home at this time. Thinking this, she took out her phone to call Mrs. Huo. The phone played a cold, automated message of no answer. At this moment, an old lady asked Lu Sha if she was looking for the Huo family. They moved away a while ago. They don't live here anymore. You should call them if you have business. Don't wait here foolishly. Lu Sha suddenly felt like a joke. They moved and never thought to send me a message. Their biological daughter returns. They changed to luxury cars and new houses. What am I, their foster daughter? To them, meanwhile, Mrs. Huo, after picking up Huo Yao, didn't go straight home. She took Huo Yao to meet her old friend. On the way back, she suddenly received a call from Zhou Yun. Min Yu's condition isn't good. I'll oblige, but before half the exam time had passed, she had finished all the questions. Huo Yao had just reached the door when he saw Zhou Yun anxiously waiting outside. He told his mother to go back first while he went to the neighbor's house. Mrs. Huo looked at Zhou Yun with some confusion. Isn't that young man still trying to buy our villa every day? When did they become so close? Song Name took out his phone and saw the missed calls. After a few seconds, he called back just as Huo Yao entered. Old Pei looked at him as if seeing hope. Little Huo, you're finally here. Minyu, with a hoarse voice, said softly, sorry for calling you over so late. Huo Yao didn't speak but reached out to check his pulse. Old Pei spoke, I just checked. The pulse seems to indicate neuralgia. Huo Yao nodded, correct, diffuse neuralgia. This is a complication from your previous external injury that's only now manifesting. Then his slender fingers pressed on several acupoints on his chest. Is the pain more intense in these areas? Old Pei smiled bitterly. Mr. Min, acupuncture would be the best treatment in this situation, but when we tried earlier it intensified the pain, now we don't dare try again rationally. Mr. Min has acute symptoms but can't take painkillers. It's really Huo Yao was silent for a few seconds. Without explaining, he just said, bear with it a little longer, I'll go home to get something. Min Yu showed a faint smile. His face was pale, but there was a kind of bewitching beauty. Okay, Huo Yao returned home. He hurried back to his room. He grabbed the needle box and left. Pei Lao looked at the row of needles, somewhat shocked. You're going to use needles on Sister Meng. The number of silver needles seems excessive, doesn't it? There must be over 100 or nodded. His condition can't be treated with conventional acupuncture techniques. He turned to look at Zhou Yun and said, take off your brother Yu's clothes. He reflexively grabbed his clothes. Damn, are we allowed to see this? It was truly heart-pounding treatment. It was too boring, so she could only sleep, teach her way. Witnessing all this couldn't help but think she's really overestimating herself. She probably can't answer a single question. Minyu, stripped naked, lay face down on the bed, his face bright red. This is so embarrassing. Yao loosened his shirt buttons. Revealing his sexy collarbone, he said, "It hurts a bit. Bear with it, it'll be over soon." As the needles went in one by one, Minyu let out sounds that could be misunderstood after Pei Lao left the room. He came down with a hint of heaviness. Zhou Yun saw Pei Lao and quickly asked, "How is it?" Pei Lao stroked his long beard and said with emotion, "In the future, let little Huo take care of Min's body. There might be hope for a cure. Little Huo's medical skills are probably above mine." That unusual acupuncture technique, even if I saw it, I couldn't imitate it. The younger generation is truly formidable. Zhou Yun and Yang Yi had shock in their eyes. Although they knew Miss Hewitt was a top-tier alchemist, for her medical skills to surpass even Pei Lao's was unbelievable. She's only 18 years old. It's too scary. Pei Lao knew there was nothing left for him to do and turned to leave. After a few seconds, he instructed, "Little Huo will consume a lot of energy with tonight's acupuncture. Remember to prepare some ginseng soup for it to replenish." In the room, Min Yu, after the acupuncture, looked like he had just finished something. His perfect upper body was nakedly displayed. Hu Xiao looked at Min Yu, who was getting dressed. "I couldn't tell when you were clothed, but your proportions are quite harmonious." Min Yu sensitively noticed his direct gaze. A trace of discomfort flashed across his handsome face, and his hand froze while dressing, Huo Yao said generously in a doctor's eyes. "There's no gender distinction, no need to be embarrassed," but he himself blushed a little. "That's it for today. I'll give you another acupuncture session in a few days. You shouldn't experience symptoms like today's again. As for your emergency treatment, I need to research a bit more. If you have any problems, contact me by phone later." Minyu, fully dressed, came over to thank him. "You've worked hard tonight." Huo Yao said teasingly, "No need for thanks, remember to pay up." Minyu's face still carried a hint of shy redness. He insisted on seeing Huo Yao off. Yao returned home at the door. He remembered he had told his family he'd be back soon. He didn't expect it to take 2 hours. He didn't know how his second brother would nag again. He looked up and saw his second brother standing under the streetlight. Yao, just as the eldest brother was about to introduce Liu Zia, people in the crowd kept taking photos. Huo Yao, not understanding the situation, quickly said, "Let's go." Finally, amidst the snoring, the exam ended. Students leaving the exam room complained to each other. The questions were too difficult this year, especially the long questions on the back. Huo Yao approached and helplessly called out. Second brother Huo Tinguri's gaze fell on Minyu, who exuded an air of nobility. He unconsciously became polite. "Sister, who is this?" Huo Yao used her all-purpose excuse. "My former tutor." Minyu's lips twitched. Then he automatically ignored Huo Tinguri's nostrils and nodded politely to him. "Hello." Huo Tingur immediately stepped forward to shake hands and thank him. "Hello, teacher. Thank you for taking care of my sister," but in his heart he still had doubts. Such a young tutor didn't seem quite right. Self-righteous people often end up in miserable situations. Huo Yao quickly grabbed her second brother's hand. "All right, second brother, it's late. We should go home. Let's go, let's go." Huo Tingur thought more and more that something was off. "Sister, that person just now," Huo Yao directly interrupted. "Don't ask." Huo Tingur was stunned. He had never seen someone so righteous before. Before they entered the house, they saw a pair of headlights approaching. After Mrs. Huo got out of the car, Huo Tingur directly asked, "Mom, did you go see Lu Xiao tonight?" Mrs. Huo's expression wasn't very good. "Yes, he had something to ask me. He wanted you to come forward and clarify things for him online." Mrs. Hulu's eyes flashed with pain and disappointment. "Yes, I never thought he would do such a thing." Hulu Tingray comforted her. "Some people are never satisfied, always feeling others owe them. You don't need to feel troubled. Everyone must bear responsibility for their own mistakes, from childhood to adulthood." Although he never emphasized it, he always had the best of everything. But in the end, he complains that we couldn't give him the luxurious life he wanted. He might have even forgotten that third brother left for a foreign country because of his mistake. Mom Hugh sighed, shook her head. "Let's not talk about it. I'm tired. I'll go upstairs first." Hugh Tinger watched her retreating figure. He could see his mother's hesitation and struggle. After all, it was a child raised by her side for over a decade. Her heart couldn't help but waver, but had that person ever truly cherished this family bond? If forgiven this time, what about next time? Withdrawing his gaze, Huo Tinger took out his phone from his pocket and sent Luxia a text message. The next day, Luxia still mustered the courage to go to school. Facing the pointing and whispering of classmates, he could only pretend not to hear, finally enduring until school let out as he was leaving. There was a backside the next day. Huo Yao was called to the academic affairs office by her classmates. He saw Huo Yao in the distance. He clenched his fist. He called out to Huo Yao. Huo Yao told Meng Ying to go ahead, seeing he wanted to say something. Meng Ying said with a hint of concern, then be careful. Junji, the two walked to the big tree on the playground. What do you want to say? Lu Sha stared steadily at Huo Yao, seeing me so miserable. Are you extremely happy now? Don't be smug. This will blow over soon. Your brothers won't pursue my responsibility either. So what if you've returned to the Huo family? I'm the one who's lived with them for over a decade, even if I made some small mistakes. Your parents and your brother would still forgive me. Although no one showed up at the Huo family mansion last night, Song Ning still came to see me later. Huo Tinger even sent a message to me today. Isn't this already a sign of compromise? Is this person's imagination too wild? It's too bizarre. Huo Yao carelessly kicked a nearby stone. How did you get that song? It's strange. My fourth brother's song was just written and someone already had the complete version and released it online in advance. Lu Sha's heart skipped a beat. What does he mean? If he had also been reborn, he wouldn't ask me such a question, but his expression seemed to suggest he knew something. After thinking for a moment, Lu Sha said coldly, I don't understand what you're saying. I had to go. Your good brother has made an appointment with me. He said he would help me resolve the online issues. Who oh yeah watched Lucia's retreating figure, a playful smile crossing his lips. No wonder he came to test him earlier, saying he wasn't the real source. So that's how it is. Lucia arrived at the private dining room. Unexpectedly, Hugh Xing was also there, walking over. She took off her sunglasses and called out in a low voice. Second brother, fourth brother. Hugh Xing pressed his lips together and said coldly, don't call me fourth brother. The color drained from Lu Xing's face. As soon as she entered, she felt the serious atmosphere. The black-haired vice principal said, I assume you've heard the rumors about you. He was so cold and emotionless towards her, but acted so obsequiously towards that biological sister. She hated this difference. Hugh Tinger pushed up the glasses on his nose and spoke, I won't beat around the bush. You want fourth brother to come forward and clarify things for you? It's not impossible. The Hugh and Lu families were never really close since you've already made your choice. There seems to be no point in maintaining contact with our parents. Lu Sha put on a pitiful expression. Second brother, I was just confused for a moment. Besides, fourth brother is fine now. We have over a decade of feelings between us. Are you really going to be so cold and push me to the edge? Who owed Tingray frowned. Cold, didn't you think about being too cold when you framed fourth brother? Drop that fake expression. Our Huo family doesn't owe you anything. Big brother, did you call me here for something today? Hu Yanchi just said they hadn't eaten together in a long time and wanted to meet up. Hu Uxin casually mentioned, has Luxin been contacting you recently? At the mention of Luxing, Hu Uxing's expression became somewhat tense. He thought of Luxing finding him, trying to use their years of friendship to get Hu Uxing to forgive her. Hu Uxing said with a bitter smile, we haven't been in much contact. That's good a few days ago. Second brother and I met with her. We just tested her a little, saying I could explain things online for her, but she would have to cut all ties with us. She agreed. It seems that the decade-long relationship meant little to her after all. As Hu Shang said this, he casually glanced at his eldest brother. Hu Yanchi understood the implication in his words. In the whole family, he was the only one who unconditionally believed in Sha Sha. It was because of his trust in her casual mentions that he had pushed his own sister further and further away. Hu Yanchi opened his mouth, his voice a bit hoarse. I know this time Hu Zhang's phone rang. The caller ID showed it was third brother. Hu Xing answered the call. Third brother, why are you suddenly calling me? The other party said he had just seen the news online. Hu Xing understood immediately. It's all in the past, don't worry. Hu Yao nervously replied, are you saying I got in through the back door? The vice principal sternly said, this incident has a terrible impact on the school. Third brother, beside him, Huo Yanchi was consumed by guilt. Had his past favoritism towards Sha Sha really been too much? Third brother must be blaming him too. Huo Yelling asked worriedly, how's your health now? Have you been for another checkup? How's your recovery? Huo Xing hadn't told his eldest brother about his previous condition, so he vaguely replied, I've fully recovered. Huo Yalan didn't think much of it and just advised, even if you've recovered, you shouldn't engage in any strenuous activities. Why are you looking at that spot with such a strange expression? Hyuxing covered the phone and said quietly, third brother, I mean I've completely recovered. Little sister gave me a bottle of medicine. After trying it, I'm all better. No after effects at all, picking up medicine for 101's little sister, Huo Shan glanced at his older brother and said, it's hard to explain right now. I'm having dinner with Big Brother outside. Do you want to talk to him? The other person replied indifferently, no need. You guys enjoy your meal walking out of the restaurant. Hugh Shang turned to his older brother and said, Big brother, I'll head back first. Just then a waiter ran out saying, Sir, you left something inside. Hugh Shang looked back and saw an elegantly packaged box. He instinctively looked at his older brother. Wu Yanchai said in a flat tone, You've made a mistake. This isn't our item. Let's go, fourth brother. The waiter scratched his head in confusion, thinking, but this box only appeared after these customers came. That evening, Wu Yao arrived at Min Yu's house. As soon as she sat down, she received a WeChat message from her third brother. Being a research fanatic and knowing about his brother's illness, he couldn't help but message his sister directly to ask what was going on. Min Yu came over and Haya was about to take her pulse after a few seconds. She withdrew her hand and said, apart from yin deficiency and fire excess, there's no other problem. Zhou Yun, who was nearby, asked, what does yin deficiency and fire excess mean? It sounds kind of, you know. He then described his master's temperament, noticing Zhou Yun's gaze. Men Yu's face instantly darkened. Hu Yao raised an eyebrow and replied with a smirk, Beidou can help you with that. We can only expel you. Upon hearing this, the director anxiously said, Wei Yao didn't get in through the back door. Zhou Yun, not understanding, asked again. How do we solve this problem? Minyu covered her face and said, Can you please shut up? Jiayu Yao glanced at Minyu and noticed her ears turning slightly red. So this person can be shy sometimes. She thought, I'll come back tomorrow to give you an acupuncture treatment. This time we'll need some herbal supplements. I'll send you a list later. Minyu coughed and said, Okay, if there's nothing else, you can head back now. Minyu stood up and said calmly, I'll see you out. Hu Yao shook her head. No need as she walked forward. Her shoe accidentally caught on the carpet on the floor, she stumbled, and before she could steady herself, a force on her arm supported her entire body. A low voice came from above. Be careful, Zhou Yun, watching from the side, had a knowing smile. Indeed, giving the boss to Wu's big shot was the right move. How does it feel to lose 5 million, you big miser? Will you be angry? Huo Yao met Min Yu's deep gaze and they both unconsciously blushed. Then she stood up straight and said, Thank you. Min Yu replied gentlemanly, You're welcome as she left. Huo Yao was noticeably more careful. After a few steps, she encountered Yang Yi coming out with his laptop. Yang Yi politely greeted her and Huo Yao nodded back as they passed each other. She caught a glimpse of the screen on his laptop, which made her pause for a moment. Teacher Wei immediately refuted the director. I did receive a report from a parent, and didn't you say she's the principal's relative? At this point, the director was stunned. Yang Yi noticed her gaze and asked with slight confusion. Miss Huo Yao pointed at his laptop and asked, Is your computer frozen? Yang Yi's lips twitched and he nodded without explaining further. He thought to himself, although Miss Huo is a medical expert, she probably knows nothing about computer technology. Min Yu glanced at him and asked, still trying to break the record. Yang Yi looked at the program code running automatically on his computer and replied with a, he wondered what kind of program this was, as even a genius couldn't fully crack his program levels. Li Yu leaned against the sofa and said, If it were that easy for you to crack, you'd already be #1 on the hacker ranking, not just 7th. Yang Yi silently lowered his head. Bro, that hurts. Just then Zhou Yang, who had been looking at his phone, suddenly raised his head and said, Just got news. The old man is coming. Could it be that he discovered the tea leaves are gone? Upon hearing this, everyone fell silent. Haha, Zhou Yun grabbed Min Yu's hand and said seriously, Yu, I request to be transferred to Africa voluntarily. Can I? The kind that can leave tonight. Yang Yi's lips twitched violently, indeed ruthless. This guy is the most ruthless, I admire that. Li Yu rubbed his temples, feeling a headache coming on. He said helplessly, Pay attention, everyone, notify me immediately when the old man arrives. After returning home, she sat at the computer desk and opened her laptop. She typed continuously on the keyboard. A minute later, the screen was filled with dense data. After adjusting the parameters, she pressed the confirm key, trying to break my firewall and levels too early just as she finished modifying. Her phone received a text message from an unknown sender. I suspect this person is Yang Yi. Haha, meanwhile, Yang Yi excitedly looked at his computer screen. After half a month, I can finally break through the first level. I won't be the eternal. Then, instead of the expected level clear prompt, a big red exclamation mark appeared on the screen. Instantly freezing the expression on his face, the displayed difficulty level changed from 1 to 1 plus. When did I say that? Suddenly remembering when Hu Yao first arrived, Old Wei refused to let her join the rocket class. He wanted to tell Old Wei that Hu Yao was specially recruited by the principal with great effort, but was interrupted halfway through. Haha, Yang Yi was about to go crazy with frustration. The next day, while waiting for someone, Hayao remembered that Meng Ying wanted Lucky's autographed photo. Her cousin's birthday was coming up. Soon, Tan Yu brought over the signed photo. Hayao received the paper bag with both hands, saying thank you, Brother Tan, for making this special trip. Tan Yu smiled and said, "You're welcome." Then, with a hint of regret, he added, it's a pity you rejected that sports brand advertisement. Sister, your body proportions are so good. Huo Yao's delicate face showed confusion. What advertisement didn't your brother mention it to you? A sports brand wanted you and your brother to shoot an ad. You didn't have to show your face. Your brother said you weren't interested and found it troublesome, so he turned it down. The ad fee was quite high. Hearing the last part, Hu Yao fell silent for a moment before asking. How high? Tom Yu raised his hand and gestured, 5 million for the ad fee, so willful, 5 million. Yao was so shocked she could barely breathe. Where's my knife? I want to sever blood ties with old For Huo. He's really obsessed with money, so depressing, 5 million gone and got scammed on top of that. What an unlucky day. Huo Yao had only one thought in her mind. Her 5 million couldn't just disappear like this, so she called out to Tang Yu saying seriously, Brother Tang, can we still get the advertisement back? Hong Yu was stunned for a moment, then realized you want to take this ad, it's possible. But Hong Yu hadn't finished speaking when Hoyao interrupted. He has no say. Unexpectedly, it led to a misunderstanding. Just then, Huo Yao's parents pushed open the door. Her father was expressionless, while her mother anxiously asked, what happened to my daughter? He's really a spendthrift. Hayao was furious. Tang Yu rubbed his nose tip. Then I'll communicate with the brand again later, seeing hope of getting back the 5 million. Bio happily nodded to Tang Yu. Thank you, Brother Tang. Then she left humming a tune just a few seconds after she left. An elderly person with a cane and graying hair slowly approached from the opposite direction, just as they were about to pass each other. Huo Yao deliberately avoided the elderly person. Suddenly, she felt herself falling towards him. The words scam attempt immediately flashed in Huo Yao's mind. After steadying the other person, she said seriously, Elder. Let me state up front, I'm just a student, I have no money. The corner of the elderly person's mouth twitched. He had been considering whether to attempt a scam, but now he inexplicably wanted to try it, so he threw away his cane and leaned his entire body weight towards Wei Yi. Ouch, young lady, you bumped into me. My chest hurts so much, I'm feeling dizzy too. Oh no. Oh no, I feel like you've scared my high blood pressure and heart disease into acting up. Hearing the elderly person's lies, Wei Er's face immediately darkened. Why did she have to be so meddlesome just now? Why did she help him? Elder, this is a school, there are cameras, your scam attempt is meaningless. The elderly person held on to Who owe you, continuing to groan and whimper, my head hurts so much, I feel terrible, you bumped into me, you can't just shirk responsibility. At this point, students on campus who saw the situation didn't dare to go help. She quickly walked up to Hu Yao, looking her up and down, nervously asking, Yao Yao, are you hurt? Hu Yao warmly replied, no, the principal was a bit confused by the two. He first tried to calm the situation, then said solemnly, we asked you to come to take your child back. Our school absolutely does not tolerate backdoor admissions. Soon they arrived at the hospital. Huo Yao expressionlessly looked at the elderly person sitting on the hospital bed, still clutching her clothes. The elderly person was quite rude. I want fruit, go buy me some quickly. Huo Yao replied coolly, no money. Don't dream, the elderly person snorted, deliberately picking faults. I don't care, you bumped into me so you had to take care of me. Otherwise, I'll make a scene at your school every day. This is ridiculous, he actually said she was a white-cut chicken. The little girl has a deep misunderstanding about him. Hugh Yao shrugged indifferently and pulled her hand away. Do as you please, bringing you to the hospital was purely out of kindness. I advise you not to push your luck. Tell me, what's your family's phone number? I'll help you contact them. The elderly person turned his back to Hugh Yao, his voice sounding pitifully weak. Just go, leave this lonely old man here to fend for himself. Hugh Yao pressed her brow, then stay here. I'm going back to school for class. Soon the sound of the door closing was heard. The elderly person's eyes widened. She really left. Huo Yao returned to school and went straight to the surveillance room. Because that section of the road happened to have no cameras, there was no way to clear her name. Mengyan was a bit worried. What should we do? Now the whole school knows you bumped into an elderly person. This is one thing, it might even cause public opinion issues. The homeroom teacher asked if the elderly person was all right. Huo Yao's face was full of killing intent. He's perfectly fine. It just happened to be in a camera blind spot. Looks like that old man came prepared. Today was scheduled for acupuncture treatment for the Empress. Seeing Huo Yao's murderous look, she asked, You seem to be in a bad mood today. Did something happen? Should we reschedule the acupuncture for tomorrow? Huo Yao turned her head to look at Min Yu. Stop wasting time. Why are you wrapped in a sheet? Are you doing a fashion show or getting treatment? Min Yu felt the little one was quite scary like this and unconsciously wrapped the sheet tighter. Bo Chun moved slightly. The mother beside him became agitated. Teacher, you look so smart. Why are you talking nonsense? What do you mean by backdoor admission? At this moment, the father firmly said, Teacher, you look like a leader. Don't scold your girlfriend. Hugh Yao looked at him and said quite disrespectfully, What's a grown man being all coy for? In my eyes right now, you're no different from a white-cut chicken. Men Yu's eyes narrowed slightly. White-cut chicken? The little one seems to have a deep misunderstanding about me. His hand loosened, and before Huo Yang could finish speaking, her voice suddenly stopped without the cover of the blanket. What was revealed was a perfectly proportioned body, exuding a dark aura all over. The only covered area in the middle also suddenly, Hu Yao felt her cheeks heating up and instinctively looked away. Seeing this, Men Yu's deep voice carried a hint of mockery. You were saying it's not like just now, why don't you continue? Hu Yao came to her senses. What am I being awkward about? I'm a doctor. Doctors seem no gender, Huo Yao said proudly. What's there to say? Your body isn't bad. I was afraid of hurting your feelings. Men Yu's lips twitched. This little one was indeed not the same model as normal children. So you lifted his leg and stepped into the bathtub. Huo Yao, red-faced, started the acupuncture for Min Yu as she inserted the needles. Min Yu rested his hands on the wooden tub, his gaze lazily fixed on Huo Yao. How long do I need to soak this time? It's really infuriating. Never seen such an arrogant, scamming dog before. Min Yu watched her focused expression as the silver needle gently entered his shoulder. He casually said, Your medical skills are truly intriguing. Huo Yao warned him, Don't develop unnecessary curiosity. Min Yu's lips curled into a slight smile, his voice somewhat affectionate. It's not convenient to talk here. The eldest brother saw Wu Yao's doubts and explained Lu Shaw participated in a girl group audition. So when you speak, you need evidence. Otherwise, I don't mind notifying the media that your school is deliberately slandering and oppressing students. The reason they were so angry was. I didn't ask. Huo Yao's long hair fell down, the ends dipping into the medicine in the bucket. Min Yu reached out to tuck away the loose strands. Half an hour later, Huo Yao finished the acupuncture and let out a heavy sigh. That's it for now. Unless something unusual happens, you shouldn't have any more emergencies. Min Yu looked at her pale face and said, Thank you. Doctor, that must have been tiring. Huo Yao didn't bother with pleasantries. Remember to pay, she said bluntly. The pleasant atmosphere was ruined by money talk. He really wanted to crack open her little skull and see if she was missing some social graces. Min Yu, worried about Huo Yao, personally escorted her home. Just as they walked down the stairs, his phone vibrated. As soon as he answered, the other party barked. You heartless girl, you hit me and didn't even come to see me? I'm an old man and haven't eaten all day. Are you trying to starve me to death to avoid responsibility? Hearing this, Huo Yao's face instantly turned green. She wasn't paying attention and slipped on a step before she could react. Only one thought flashed through her mind, that scamming old man is causing so much trouble. Min Yu, walking in front, sensed something behind him. He swiftly turned around and quickly reached out to catch her. After steadying her, he frowned and said, Be more careful, falling here wouldn't be a small matter. Glancing down the stairs, he half-jokingly added, I see you don't have much strength left. If you want, I could reluctantly carry you down. Huo Yao was still holding her phone. Min Yu's words clearly reached the old man on the other end, who suddenly became excited. Huo Yao's lip twitched and she headed straight downstairs, saying no need. Remembering the call was still connected, she impatiently said, "Listen, old man, don't try to act in front of me. If you anger me, I'll hit even an elderly person." Minyu noticed the little one was truly irritable today. "If I really get angry, you'll see, I've never met such an arrogant scammer." Minyu lazily asked Yangye, "Where's my grandfather?" Yangye's face showed shame as he replied, "The old master left Beijing, but he shook off all his followers. We can't determine his exact whereabouts." They thought their vulnerable daughter must be very scared and helpless facing these teachers. Minyu pressed his brow, saying with a headache, "All right, I understand. The old master is always cunning and unpredictable. Keep searching, just don't let Beijing know he's run away from home." After Hu Yao got home, she put her phone on Do Not Disturb mode. After each acupuncture session, she needed a lot of sleep to recover. The old man, who had been waiting at the hospital for half a day without seeing Hu Oye, took out his phone and called her. It rang for a long time until the automated voice said the call couldn't be connected. The old master then heavily pressed the end call button. The quiet hospital room echoed with grumbling sounds. "Heartless little girl. She really has the nerve to let an old man starve in the hospital. It was just a little scam. This girl is just like that ungrateful brat of mine, cold-blooded and heartless. HMPH, what to ditch me? It won't be that easy. I suddenly got a strange grandfather, and he's quite the drama queen." After school, Meng Ying couldn't contain her curiosity and asked, "Didn't you go to the hospital during lunch break? Didn't you see that scamming old man?" Hu Yao was also confused. "When I got there, a couple had picked him up. I guess it was his family. Oh, I forgot my phone. Can I borrow yours to make a call? I'm worried my family might come to pick me up and not find me." Just then, a horn sounded. It was her second brother coming to pick her up. In the car, Hu Yao asked curiously, "Second brother, why are you picking me up today? Weren't mom and dad discussing this morning about who would come?" Hu Ode Tingray raised an eyebrow. "We have guests at home. Mom and dad couldn't leave. I happened to have business nearby, so I came to pick you up." Hu Yao glanced at him. "Guests?" Hu Ode Tingray said casually. "I'm not sure, maybe they're friends." When Hu Yao got home, she obediently greeted her parents. Before she could even change her shoes, she heard her mother say, "Yao Yao, how can you not come and greet your grandfather?" Hu Yao was bewildered. Grandfather, this body had been raised by her grandmother alone since childhood. Where did a grandfather come from? Could it be her mother's father? Hu Yao stepped forward and just started to say grand when she looked up. "Oh no, isn't this the scamming old man? Why is he here?" The old man dramatically came forward and hugged Hu Yao. "My dear granddaughter, it's been so long. Grandpa has missed you so much." They just wanted to stand up for their daughter, regardless of who was a leader or teacher. Seeing this, the director quickly tried to salvage the situation. "It's all a misunderstanding. Hu Yao was indeed specially recruited by the principal." At this point, Old Wei was still not convinced. Then he whispered in her ear, "Little girl, you hit me, so you have to take responsibility. Don't think about running away." Hu Yao was utterly speechless. Where did this drama queen come from? Songning comforted the excited old man. "Uncle, don't be too excited. Now that you're here, stay as long as you like. Let Yao Yao spend more time with you." After the family sat down, Hu Yao interrupted. "Mom, who exactly is this person?" Songning looked at her daughter. "Child, don't you recognize your grandfather from your hometown?" Hu Yao pressed her brow and was about to say he wasn't, but the old man cut her off. "Yao Yao, it's okay. I'll leave now." "Damn," thought the old man who knew the truth, almost having a heart attack. He picked up his cane as if ready to leave, saying, "Grandpa knows he's just a dirty old man from the countryside. I'll go now. I won't offend your eyes anymore." Songning quickly stood up to explain, "Uncle, please don't misunderstand. It's not like that." Then she turned to scold Huo Yao. "It's not easy for an elderly person to come to the city. You should say less." Huo Yao felt wronged. She hadn't even said 2 words yet. At this moment, Huo Tingray, who had just parked the car, came in. He asked, "What are you guys doing?" Song Lin, to comfort the old man, asked Huo Tingray to come over and chat with him. He also told Huo's father to make some tea. While he would go cook, Huo Tingray looked confused. "Sister, doesn't your grandmother live alone? When did he find a partner?" The old man quickly explained, "When I was born in my hometown, I lived next door to Hu Yao. He often came to my house as a child. He's like my own granddaughter." Huo Tingray didn't suspect anything and sat down next to the old man, starting to make small talk. Hu Yao helplessly covered her forehead. Great, another one fooled. Hugh Yao went to ask her father how the old man had come to their house. Hugh's father, holding the tea leaves, replied, "You didn't take your phone to school, right? I happened to hear the phone ring and found out the old man was in the hospital. He was unfamiliar with the place. So your mom and I went to pick him up." Hugh Yao explained, "You've been tricked, I don't know him." Hugh's father said earnestly, "He told us a lot about you. Daughter, you can't forget your roots. Although the old man is from a small county, he took care of you. You can't pretend not to know him." Songning also added, "Your father is right. The old man is in his 80s. What's the point of deceiving us?" Director, are you still trying to make excuses for the principal? If Hugh Yao really got in with a perfect score, why did she sleep through yesterday's exam? Wu Yao couldn't explain further. So she gave up and left for her room. Wu's father took out the Dao Hong Pao tea that Min Yu had given last time and brewed a cup for the old man. When he took the tea, he found the box familiar. He seemed to have customized one exactly the same after taking a sip. He was surprised. "Isn't this the premium Da Hong Pao for my storage room? How did it end up here?" Hugh's father finished drinking and couldn't help but praise. "Premium Da Hong Pao is indeed extraordinary. This was given by our Yao Yao's friend, having his most prized possession taken away and having to smile and pretend not to know. What kind of feeling is that?" The old man, upon hearing this, was furious inside. He forced a smile and said, "That's good." While tapping out a message, he thought to himself, no wonder that dog didn't return to the old house when he came back to Beijing last time. He had done something wrong. Meanwhile, Min Yu received the text message and broke out in a cold sweat. Zhou Yun, holding his master's phone, analyzed seriously. Judging from the content, the old man must have been extremely angry when sending this message. What did you do today to make the old man so angry? Li Yu glanced at him indifferently. Have you found the person? It's getting late. Zhou Yun scratched his head gently. He really couldn't understand why the old man would send such a message. He turned to ask brother Yang Yi, "Can you track the location where the old man sent this message?" Yang Yi took out his computer. The range on the map quickly narrowed and the flashing red dot was in Lei's city. When trying to pin